Want to notify Discord when you go live or get a big gift? How about letting viewers send gifts to change your song on Spotify? Or let viewers activate Alexa, control smart devices, or post on your social medias? Or even do something crazy like turn off your PC or monitor? Well, the possibilities with TikFinity and with IFTTT are endless, and it's pretty easy to set up once you learn how. If you're unfamiliar with TikFinity, I suggest you have a look at my TikFinity tutorial, which is in the description. So, IFTTT stands for if this, then that. So in our case, this is a call from TikFinity, and that is typically IFTTT, which I'll call IFT, controlling something. Regardless of what you use webhooks for, the first 3 steps are going to be always required. So, firstly, head to the IFT website, which is linked in the description, and make sure you're on this explore page here. Then just type webhooks into the explore box. And we're just going to click on this blue link here for webhooks. Next up, click documentation, and on this new page here, from left to right, copy this top URL. TikFinity is going to be making a call to this URL to enable your desired action. Don't share this key with other people. I'm only sharing mine because there is a reset button and I'll reset it before I post the video. Go ahead and save this key into somewhere like Google Docs or Notepad because you'll find yourself using this URL multiple times. Next up, head to TikFinity, which is linked in the description, and make an account if you haven't already. Then head to the actions and events page and create yourself a new action or edit an existing one. For now, this is just a test action, so I'm just going to name this test at the top. Then underneath this big list of checkboxes, I'm going to tick trigger webhook. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste in our URL here into this box. Now you see this event part of our webhook. We want this to be unique for every single webhook URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it inside TikFinity just to test for now. In the future, we'll change it to something more sensible. For example, light_on to turn on a smart light. So go ahead and ignore the other options for now. Just scroll down, press save. Now let's create a new event. But now I'm going to assign it to commenting a command, but you can change this very easily in the future. The most important thing for now is on this trigger all of these actions list, you select the correct action, which is obviously for us just the test one that we've made, and then press save. This next step is going to show us what services the viewers can control like Spotify or anything else. It's also going to be how TikFinity connects to IFT. So in the top right of this website, just hit the create button. Next to if this, click on add, and we're going to type in webhooks and just click on it and then click on receive a web request. Now just type in the name of your request, and ours was just test, and you can always edit this later or just make a new one. It is important to note at this stage that this event name, which we've called test here, has to match what we've got in our TikFinity webhook event name here. And once again, if I look at Notepad, that is this event part that we replaced from our webhook URL. So just make sure this section matches with this section and then click create trigger. Next up, click on then that, and now we have a gigantic list of the services that the viewers can trigger. So just type in what you're looking for. For example, we've got Discord here, another example, Spotify, and another example here is TP-Link, which is a popular smart device provider. So you just play around with that and hopefully you can find something that you would like your viewers to control. So those 3 steps are required for any TikFinity webhook. Now let's set up some specific examples and feel free to use the chapters to find what you want. So let's start with a really useful one, which is a command that you can type in your chat, which only you or your mods can type, that notifies Discord that you're now live on TikTok. So firstly, either edit an existing TikFinity action or create a new action and give it a title. I'm going to call it Discord Live Noti. Of course, we're focusing on webhooks for this, but you can do all these other things listed here on TikFinity. But we're just going to trigger a webhook here, and I now once again need my webhook URL. So I'm going to copy it back into TikFinity, and as per usual, we need to replace this event section. So I'm going to replace it with something sensible like live_now. And again, you could edit this further. For now, I'm just going to save the action. Now edit an existing event or make a new event. I'll create a new event. And once we're on this page, obviously I only want my mods or myself to activate this. If you want both yourself and your mods, you'll actually have to create 2 different actions for this. I'm just going to set it so my mods can type a command. So I'll pick any moderator can trigger the event here. And then of course it's commenting a command here. And let's make the command !live now. I'll leave this level number on 0 so all of my mods can trigger the command, and then trigger all of these actions obviously is the Discord live noti, and I'll hit save. Now let's move over to IFT, and we need to click the create button in the top right. If this is once again a webhook, but I need to be able to spell it correctly. There we go, webhook receiving a web request, and this time it was live_now. And let's double check by comparing it to what we've got here, live_now. That's good. Create trigger. Next, we click on then that, and we just search for Discord here. And we're going to post a message to a channel. We don't need the rich message. Of course, go ahead and connect your Discord account if you haven't already. Now, just pick your server from the list. Obviously, I only have one here, and pick which channel you're going to put it in. Maybe your announcements channel. For our test, I'm just going to stick it in my bots channel. Now, this message thing might look confusing, but in actual fact, you can just wipe it and type in any message that you want. So, for example, you could type at everyone, again, I can't spell properly, Mojo is now live on TikTok. And then you could put a link, for example, to your TikTok page, just like that. For our test, I'm just going to remove the everyone tag, or if you want to be safe and don't want people to use mentions, you could click no mentions allowed here. Anyway, I'm just going to click create action. Once done, just press continue. You can rename it here if you want. So for example, Discord live command, press finish, and now it should be working. We can of course test this, so click back into TikFinity, and next to the correct action here, you just press the play button and action executed in the top right should appear. So let's check Discord to see if it's worked properly. I'll go into my bot channel here, and as you can see, Mojo is now live on TikTok. Next up, when somebody sends a massive gift, you could post on Twitter, Facebook pages, or into Discord. This can help create some hype for the gift, and it can encourage more people to send gifts. So for our example, we're going to choose Discord again, and I'm going to start back on TikFinity by creating a new action, and I'll call this action Discord large gift or something similar. And once again, you could pick any of these other options as well. We'll focus on webhooks, and I of course need my webhook URL once again pasted into this box. We now change the event tag again. I'm going to call it this time large_gift. And as usual, we'll just save the action. Now either edit an event or create a new event here. And this time it is sending a specific gift here, or sending a gift with a minimum coins value. So for our example, let's notify Discord whenever we receive a gift that gives me $50 or more. So as you might know, 1 coin on TikTok gives you half of a US cent. So that means for $50, I need 10,000 TikTok coins in this box. I think I've typed that correct. Yep. And then once you've either chosen your minimum coin value or chosen the specific gift, make sure you pick the correct action from the list, which I've named Discord large gift, and then just save the event. Next, let's head back to IFT and click create in the top right corner. And if this is once again a webhook, which is receiving a web request. Once again, let's double check what our event name is so we don't make a mistake here. The event name is large_gift. So we'll just type that or copy paste it into the box and create the trigger. Next up, then that, just click add. And like I said, you could choose Facebook, you could choose Twitter, or you can choose, for our example, Discord. Unfortunately, TikTok, Instagram, a few other social media sites aren't available. I'm choosing Discord and I'm posting a message to a channel. So just choose your server and choose your channel. And once again, because we're experimenting, just going to use my bots channel. And you can just wipe everything from this message box here and type a custom message. So for example, I could go at everyone, we just received a massive gift. I can't spell again. We just received a massive gift. Get in the live right now. And once again, I would probably put a quick link to my live stream as well. Again, just for our test, I'll delete the everyone and I'll create the action. Once created, just press continue, give it a name. So for example, large Discord gift noti, or you don't have to name it, you could just press finish, and it should be working now. Of course, you want to test it, so click back onto TikFinity, make sure you exit the action, and press the play button next to the correct action, and it should say action executed. With any luck, if we go into Discord and go into the correct channel, you can see it says now we just received a massive gift, get in the live right now. So the test has worked. Viewers can pause your Spotify, skip a track, or add a pre-selected track to your queue using IFT. The most sensible way for the viewer to do any of this would be by sending a specific gift, and quick disclaimer, this does require Spotify Premium. So let's start on TikFinity by creating a new action. In our example, let's allow a viewer to skip a song by sending 1000 likes. So I'm just going to name the action Spotify skip song, and as per usual, I can't spell, so I'll correct that. Once again, you could choose any of these options. Additionally, we're going to focus on webhooks, and I am now once again going to copy and paste my webhook URL into the webhook box. We now need to replace the event section, so I'm going to call it skip_song, and as per usual, make any other changes and save the action. Let's move to making a new event, and again, you could choose any of these. In our example, I'm going to choose sending likes, and as said earlier, we'll use 1000 screen taps from a specific viewer. That's not from everybody. So one viewer has to tap the screen 1000 times, and then they can skip the song. Of course, I need to pick the correct action from the list and hit save. Now head back over to IFT and click on create in the top right corner. The if this is once again a webhook, and we are receiving a web request. And as usual, let's match the event name to make sure we've got it correct. So it is skip_song. So the event name here is skip_song, and we create the trigger. Then that here is obviously Spotify. So we'll type that in, connect your Spotify account if you haven't already, and you can choose any of the options here. As I stated earlier, the most obvious one is obviously skip, pause, and add a track to the playback queue. The other obvious one is start. If somebody's paused it, you probably want a different gift to start it again. Anyway, we're gonna skip a track, so I'll just click that, then click continue. Once again, you could rename it if you want. If not, just press finish, and once it's saved, it should be enabled. Now, of course, let's test it. I'd love to play this one on screen for you, but I don't want to get copyright striked. So what we're going to instead use is we're going to use Stream Beats by Harris Heller. And by the way, this is fantastic if you're live streaming, and you also hear this music in the background of every single one of my videos on this channel. Anyway, let's just quietly play a Stream Beats song in the background, and to test that it is working properly, let's head back to TikFinity, make sure the action is saved, and then as per usual, all we have to do is hit this play icon next to the correct action. So if I press play here, you will see that my song has now been skipped. Now this Spotify one does seem to be a bit error prone. It did skip the song, it didn't seem to play anything after the song, and also when I've tried this one, which adds a specific track, it doesn't seem to play the track. So hopefully IFT and Spotify fix that. The one that I know is 100% working right now is the pause one, so you can definitely pause, and hopefully the adding the track to the playback queue and skipping and starting should be working shortly, or it could just be a bug on my end and it might be working perfectly for you anyway. Now let's move on to viewers controlling your smart speakers. Unfortunately, I don't have a smart speaker to test this myself, but what I do know is that IFT supports Alexa Voice Monkey, and what this lets you do is trigger any Alexa routine that you've set up using Voice Monkey. As we can see on the pricing page here, this thing is literally just $6 per year for the pro version. So even though I don't have a smart speaker, let's set this up anyway so that your viewers can control your smart speaker by sending a gift, sending likes, follow, subs, or something like that. And we'll start on TikFinity by creating a new action. Let's make an example where if you receive a new subscriber, it plays a routine that you've called subroutine on your Alexa. So for example, it could play a song on your Alexa and activate a smart device. So I'll call this action here Alexa subroutine. Once again, you could choose anything else from the list as well. We're going to focus on triggering a webhook, and we're once again going to copy in our webhook URL, and as per usual, we have to replace this event section. I'll replace it with sub_routine. And once I'm happy, I'll save the action. Next up is the event. So we create the new event. And of course, this time it's going to happen when somebody subscribes. And we're going to trigger the Alexa subroutine action. Next, we just hit save. Now head over to IFT and create a new applet. And as usual, if this is a webhook, which is receiving a web request, as per usual, I'm going to double check what the event name is so we don't get it wrong. It's sub_routine. Sub_routine. We'll just type that into the box and click create trigger. Then that is of course Alexa Voice Monkey, or if you have another smart device, maybe that's listed too. And you're going to pick trigger a monkey routine. Like I said, I don't actually have a smart speaker, so I can't do this myself. But all you're going to do is set up a routine on the Voice Monkey website here, and that talks to your Alexa and activates the routine. In our example, Alexa would be playing a song and it would also be activating a smart device. As per usual, if you want to test this before going live, just head on TikFinity and press the play button next to the correct action. As a quick side note, if your subscriber alerts are broken on TikFinity, just check the link in the description for a fix. IFT is compatible with most brands of smart devices such as bulbs, strips, and anything else. This means that your viewers can basically control any smart device that you own. In our example, the viewers are going to send a money gun gift to turn off one of my TP-Link smart bulbs. And we start here on TikFinity by creating a new action. And this is turning the light off, so I'm just going to call the action light off. As per usual, you can choose any of these other options here. We're going to focus on triggering a webhook. And once again, we need our TikFinity webhook URL. So we'll just paste this into the box and we need to replace the event section. So I'm going to call mine light_off, make any other changes and save the action. Next, we're going to create a new event and you can choose any option here. I'm going to make it so we're sending a specific gift. And as I mentioned, the specific gift will be a money gun, and make sure you pick the correct action from the list and go ahead and save the event. Next up, head over to the IFT website, click on create in the top right corner. If this is a webhook, we are receiving a web request. Now let's double check the event name to make sure it's light_off. So we'll type that into the box here and click on create trigger. Then that is your smart device provider. So mine is called TP-Link. So I'll type that in and you would be asked to connect your account here if you haven't already. Once you've done that, your viewers could do any of these options here. We're going to turn off the smart bulb, so I'll click on turn off. Now it's actually pre-selected my smart bulb already, but make sure you have the correct device selected and just click create action. Once the action's done, click on continue, give it a different name if you want, and then press finish. Now let's test that. As you can see, I've added my worst second webcam on the left of your screen. So we head back to TikFinity, make sure you've saved the action if you've got it open, and you just press the play button to the left of the action, and in a few seconds, the light will turn off. So it's working. Now, how about letting your viewers turn off any device, even a device which isn't smart? To do that, you need something like this, which is a smart plug. All you have to do is plug your device into the smart plug and then put the smart plug in the wall. In our example, the viewer is going to turn off my monitor by sending the expensive gift private jet. So start on TikFinity by making a new action. I'm going to name mine monitor off. You can choose any of the options here as well. We'll focus on triggering a webhook, and we're going to paste in our TikFinity webhook URL. And as per usual, we need to replace the event section. So I'm going to name mine monitor_off, make any other changes, and save the action. Next up, let's create a new event. You can choose any of these. I'm going to choose sending a specific gift, and I'm going to type in private jet and choose that off the list. And then of course, on the actions here, we need to pick the correct action, which is monitor off, and then just hit save. Now let's head over to the IFT website, click on create. If this is once again a webhook and we are receiving a web request, let's double check the event name by going to monitor off, and it is monitor_off. So we're going to type that into the box here and click on create trigger. For the then that section, this is the brand name of your smart plug. Mine is a TP-Link smart plug. So I'll click on TP and we're going to click on turn off, and I'll choose the smart plug from the list here. So there it is, and then just click create action. Once done, press continue, give it a different name if you want, and then hit finish. To test that it's working, just head back to TikFinity, exit the action if you have it open, and you just press the play button next to it. I'm not actually going to press it. I don't want to turn my monitor off because I'm making this video. It might be a good idea to make a different webhook which turns your smart plug back on. IFT can be used to post a chosen message to both Twitter and to Facebook pages. So for example, you could create a command that you type in your chat, which then posts on these sites when you go live. Or in our example, when the viewer sends a specific large gift, you could post an embarrassing tweet. So as usual, let's start on TikFinity by creating a new action. I'll just name mine something like cringe tweet, and you can choose any of these other options as well. We'll just choose trigger webhook, and we want to paste our webhook URL into the box, and once again change the event section here. So I'm going to rename it to cringe_tweet and make any other changes you want, and then save the action. Next up, we'll create a new event, and for us it's going to be sending a specific gift, which is the lion gift. You could choose any of the other options and trigger which action, which is of course the cringe tweet, and then we just press save. Next, we head over to IFT and click on create in the top right corner. If this is our webhook, we are receiving a web request, and let's double check the event name, which is cringe_tweet. So we'll type that into the box here, cringe_tweet, and just create the trigger. For then that, it is of course either Facebook pages, you could do Discord, or like we'll do Twitter. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and you can post a tweet with an image, you can post a tweet, you could also update your profile picture or update your bio. We will just post a tweet, and of course connect your Twitter account if you haven't already. So make sure the correct account is selected, and you can just wipe this box and write out whatever tweet you want. I'll just do a test, so this is a test tweet, but like in our example, we're going to send a really cringe tweet for a lion gift. So you put whatever you want in that box, and once you're done, hit create action, and then press continue, give it a name if you want, and then press finish. So finally, let's test this to see if it's working. So we'll head back to TikFinity and just press the play button next to the correct action. So it says action executed in the top right, and we just go on my Twitter account. Let's refresh the page, and hopefully it should be now working. As we can see, this is a test tweet, and feel free to follow my Twitter. I'll put it in the description. Now that is all the examples I have for you, but if you click on the explore page on IFT and make sure you click on services, you can see there is so many different services that can be triggered by IFT. So if you just follow steps 1 through to 3 at the start of the video, you should be able to get any of these services here working. Hit the subscribe button if you found this useful. Thank you to the channel members for supporting these videos, and thanks for watching.